A cat in a top hat that bounces on a ball. A grouchy green being that was rude to all. Do these ring a bell? Dr. Seuss illustrations have been a pinnacle to children's imagination. His fanciful creatures and drawing has left a nostalgic and childlike effect on our minds. His art is exclusively his, with his own original style. Show anyone an illustration, and they will be immediately able to recognize Dr. Seuss's work. Hi, my name is Rachel Brummage, and today I'll be speaking about my artist, Theodore Seuss Geisel. I will be discussing his early life, his artistic career, and his impact on the world. His youth was important to his artistry. He was born March 2nd, 1904. According to the book, The Portrait of the Man Who Became Dr. Seuss, his family and him were German immigrants. His parents were the first people to spark his early love for animals. His father worked at the zoo and his mother took him there frequently. In a Saturday Evening Post, The Wonderful World of Dr. Seuss, his older sister Marie related a time where Seuss would come home and draw on the walls, and every wall in the house had a drawing from Theodore on it. Fast forward to his young adult years, he attended Dartmouth College and the University of Oxford, where he majored in English literature. He told Saturday Night Evening Post, "What am I doing here?" article, "I was absolutely terrified. I knew nothing about literature." In a class full of Shakespeare, his mind often wandered to his humorous drawings, since he did illustrate for the humor magazine at his college. He graduated from Dartmouth and attended the University of Oxford for his doctorate to become a faculty member at Dartmouth. Oxford is where he met his wife, Helen, and Helen sat next to Geisel in class, and she would look over and see the margins of his notebook filled with these doodles that she fell in love with. Helen remembers a point where the drawings began to take up more of the notebooks than the notes. She was the one who encouraged him to take a break from school, return home, and pursue something that he was passionate about. Now that we've discussed his early life, let's focus on his artistic career. Dr. Seuss is a pen name that he used as an illustrator, derived from his mother's maiden name, the parent who supported him the most, unlike his father, according to The Portrait of the Man Who Became Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss is notable for his art in children's books and cartoon strips, but his artistry has taken many avenues over the years. According to the Saturday Night Evening Post, The Wonderful World of Dr. Seuss, he has worked as an ad illustrator for major companies like Standard Oil, a political cartoonist during the war, a filmmaker during the war, and a child book author for award-winning books. He was drafted into World War I, and that's where his career as a political cartoonist began. He drew over 400 cartoons about the prevalent topics such as fascism and disagreements with Mussolini, Hitler, and Joseph Stalin. Now, Dr. Seuss's art style is whimsical and cartoon-like. When asked about his odd and unique illustrations, he answered simply, "I just never learned how to draw." In a Saturday Evening Post, "What am I doing here?" Seuss explains the time he didn't finish his high school course because the teacher stated that he wanted me to draw the world as it was, and I wanted to draw it as I saw it. Dr. Seuss has always been very imaginative in his work and never drew his drawings anatomically correct. So drawing the world as he saw it was very important to him in his fanciful world. He excelled as a cartoonist, and many companies purchased his drawings. According to Jean Steffen Galleries, Dr. Seuss's art formed a genre of art that incorporated surrealism, which is a cultural movement where art and literature deflected from reality to non-rational and dreamlike images. It occurred in 1917, and Seuss was around for it. Finally, as his artistic career left a major impact on the world, Seuss continued to create art. His publisher, Kathy Goldsmith, in an artsy editorial article, stated that in the late nights he would paint these beautiful pictures that she saw, and she called them his midnight paintings. He has films based on the books that he's written and illustrated, such as How the Grinch Stole Christmas, The Lorax, and The Cat in the Hat. Dr. Seuss is also believed to have changed the reading education for young readers. According to the website Seussville, the National Education Association pushed for a Dr. Seuss Day, also known as National Reading Day, that occurs nationwide in schools on March 2nd, Dr. Seuss's birthday. Although he never had children of his own, many children across the world look up to him. He is responsible for many children's zeal to read. Today, I have discussed the artist Theodore Seuss Geisel. We covered his early life, his artistic career, and his impact on the world. From one of my favorite books that he's written, All the Places You Will Go, the quote goes, "Today you are you, and that is truer than true. There is no one alive that is youer than you." And I would like to thank Dr. Seuss for his work in pushing originality and individuality with his creative art. Thank you for listening.